Bless the Lord, O my soul, blessed art thou, Lord. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name.
The blessings of the Lord rest upon you. Orthodoxy is not a religion. A lot of people are surprised when they hear that. How could it not be a religion? But the truth is, Orthodoxy is meant to be a way of life. And all those externals that we have, those beautiful externals, the way we worship, the way we make the sign of the cross, the way we do prostrations, the way we venerate icons, the way we light candles, the way we take in the incense as the priest censes the church. All of these things, to many people, would seem like, well, that's certainly a religion. But it isn't. It's a way of life. The church is a hospital for the soul, and it's designed by its very nature to bring life into our heart. The trouble that some people fall into is they see on one hand this beautiful liturgical expression that we have as we enter a church and participate in the service. And then others, oftentimes lifelong Orthodox Christians, who take the sign of the cross and kind of make it haphazard. And they make the services sort of, well, it doesn't really matter what I do externally, it's okay, I'm Orthodox. And then they stand there with their eyes wandering around, looking at their friends, thinking about what they're going to do the rest of the week. And then there's those others that throw themselves wholly into the external expression of the faith. But it is all show. Not necessarily to those who are standing near them, but to themselves. Look at me. Look how pious I am. Look how flawlessly I make the sign of the cross. Look how many candles I light when I come into the church. Somebody else comes in and they light one candle and they go to their place. And some go into the church and they buy 10 candles and they go slowly around the church venerating the icons, and they light these candles. And then they feel so much pride, maybe not even realizing the pride that is there. But it's pride. Look at me. Look how pious I am. Look how many candles I have lit. Look how many icons I have venerated. And sometimes the person who doesn't barely any of that is actually more pious, because what's coming out of their heart is something that is deep and a desire to immerse themselves in the heart of God and be transformed. But the truth is that there's a balance between those two. Those who rarely light candles, or who rarely make the sign of the cross, or if they do, it's sort of a fast movement, like almost like a guitar or something, need to pay attention to what they're doing, because it does matter. It would sort of be like walking into the living room of your grandmother and say, "Hi, Grandma, I love you." But if you're really going to demonstrate your love to her so that she will know you mean it and her heart will be gladdened because of it, you go over to her and you help her out of her chair and you give her a great big hug and you kiss her on her cheeks, and then you look into her face and say, "Grandma, I really love you. I am so glad that you are in my life. I'm so happy that God gave you to me as my grandmother to love me and nurture me from infancy. And my goal is to return the love that you gave to me as a child, and to rejoice in having you as my grandma." So when we enter into the church, we want to enter in with that kind of spirit, not counting the ways that we are pious, because those externals are important, just like it's important that we actually embrace our grandmother and kiss her, and not just throw a kiss at her or say, "I love you," and walk out. We want God to know that we care enough, that we are, every time we enter into the temple, committing ourselves to the love of God and to heavenly worship. We want God to know that when we do those prostrations during the Lenten periods, that we mean it. We're not seeing it as just, this is kind of an exercise that we do, sort of like Orthodox calisthenics, and letting people see, look at what a pious person he is. Forget about everybody around you. They're not important at that moment. What is important is your relationship with the God who created you and who first loved you. And when you do that, then you are assuring yourself that orthodoxy is a way of life and not just another religion. May God help us to do just that.
If you have found this content to be a blessing, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Both now and ever and unto the ages of ages. Amen. Only begotten Son and immortal Word of God,